Welcome back to the Live Impact Studio. We're going to get back to that Sarah Stevenson Forum in just a bit and another update on Hurricane Melissa, but we're going to come back here to our local area for now. Something we're seeing, and we have seen quite a few times, is of course scams, job scams. This is a thing all over the country, but here in the Charlotte area, we're seeing this as people posing as HR now, so a little bit different. We've got Juliana here from the Better Business Bureau. So Juliana, what are you seeing? What do people need to know?
Yes, so we always get job report scams reported to us, and so this one's just a little bit different. They're basically the same type of a job scam, but now they're saying they're from HR, and we have names that have specifically been reported to us more than once. So got my little cheat sheet here. But Rebecca, Grace, Jasmine, Linda, Megan, Dorothy, and Olivia are all names that we have had reported to us more than once. And so we want people to be aware that if you are reached out to for a job, whether you've applied to them or not, be on the lookout specifically for these names. And we do have this information on our website, so you don't have to remember all the names that I just read off. But we are getting quite a few reports as far as, these job scams, and it's probably only going to get worse as we head into the holiday season, where we know a lot of companies hire seasonal employees. And so you just, as a consumer, want to be on the lookout for anybody, especially if they reach out to you and you haven't applied for a job recently. Oftentimes a lot of these companies, that LinkedIn, Indeed, these places where you apply, they might keep your resume on file. And so oftentimes they're going to say, hey, we got your resume from this recruiting site and we think you're going to be this perfect fit. But be a little cautious if you haven't really applied for jobs anywhere. The last time I applied for a job was about 8 years ago. So anytime somebody's like, oh, I have your resume, I'm like, do you? Because I haven't really done anything with it for a long time. And so, these are different tactics that they're using to take advantage of people.
Especially too right now, I think a lot of people, not just holiday season, but a lot of people looking for work in general. So
yeah.
I'm sure that's adding to it.
Yeah, there's always people looking kind of for part-time work, part-time jobs. And what they'll do, it's really enticing. And so they'll reach out to you on, whatever platform. They'll say, hey, we have this great work available. You can work from home. It's a very lucrative salary that, quite honestly, is probably too good to be true. But they tell you all the things you want to hear. And one of the tactics that they use as well is they get you off of that platform and they want you to communicate via WhatsApp. Oh. And so once they get you off of that platform and they have you communicating on WhatsApp, they might ask you a few more questions that pertain to this, quote unquote job. And they get all excited. They offer you the position, and then they're going to start asking you for your personal information so that they can get you on their payroll. They want your, address, your full name, maybe your social security number, your banking account information. And that's where things start to go south, because if you provide that information, they can commit identity theft, identity fraud, or they can now have access to your bank account and they can steal your funds.
Why WhatsApp, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I was about to ask.
I think because WhatsApp is such a universal platform that people use across the world for communication purposes. And I also think it's because a lot of times these scammers are overseas. And so it just makes it really easy using WhatsApp. I know anytime I travel, I use WhatsApp because it's so much easier than trying to text somebody. You never know if it's going to go through or not. And WhatsApp is such a universal.
Have to pay to send messages.
Right. So it's very universal. And so that's also a red flag. If you are communicating with somebody and they say, hey, let's communicate via WhatsApp, especially for a job, that's a little bit interesting, because oftentimes if you communicate with somebody, it's going to be via email.
Right.
They're going to call you. Yeah. We always recommend anytime somebody reaches out to you for something like this, if you are looking for jobs, research whatever job they're offering you. They will put up, potentially fake websites. And so you can even search the name of the company, the job title, and then throw the word scam in behind it to see have other people talked about this. Because oftentimes when people get taken advantage of from a scamming perspective, yes, they're embarrassed, but more often than not now they want to tell people about it because they don't want it to happen to other people, or they're just pissed, right? And so they want the world to know, this person tried to take advantage of me, whether they did or not. Hey, I want you to know that this is happening. And so those are some of the things that we're seeing, and it's unfortunate. One of the other things that they'll do too, kind of a little bit of a different twist, if you will, they will, if once they hire you, they might say, oh, we're going to help you build this home office. We're going to send you a check. They send you a check for a large amount of money, and then you deposit it. But then they're like, oh, we actually sent you too much money. We need you to send some of it back. So if anybody were to send some of that money back, that check is going to bounce anyways. And the waiting period on checks to clear with banks can be different, and it can be a lengthy period for it to actually clear. It can take up to a few weeks. And so you could potentially be sending money to them that is actually your money and you're never going to get it back. And it's really sad all around.
messy.
Yeah, it's very messy. And like I said, this time of year it gets worse, especially because there's so many people that are going to be looking for extra work come holidays. You know, it's a busy time of year and it's an expensive time of year. And so we just want people to be aware that these things are happening and we don't want people to get taken advantage of.
This is so mean.
I know.
This is so
I know.
mean.
We talk about it all the time. If they used all of their tactics for good as opposed to bad, man, the world would be a better place. But they don't, and they just
Here
want to
we
take
are.
advantage of people. Yeah, here we are.
Well, you mentioned, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So,
Yes.
like, extensive salary over,
Yeah.
like, PTO, that seems too
If they're
much.
telling you, you can work from home a couple hours a week, and we're going to pay you like $1,000 a week or something astronomical. I mean, we all know what kind of work we've done in the past, what
Yeah.
kind of salaries we've looked at. I mean, you have a ballpark idea of what a job might potentially offer.
Or you
and
can research it.
Well,
and-
that's just
yeah,
it. If you
like-
don't, so many of these companies, LinkedIn, Indeed,
Right.
all of these places put out reports on what the average salaries are, whether it's for a for-profit company, a nonprofit company,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the work you're doing. There's so much information out there that you can find that is legitimate. So you should have a good idea of what somebody would be willing to pay you. And if it seems, substantially more than that, start asking questions. I know we all want to make millions and millions of dollars, right? Just from
Right.
sitting at our home a couple hours a week. But the reality is that's not going to happen.
Oh, I would fall for it.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I know. Well, and that's just it. People do because they're like, oh, this is great. Or they fall for like part of it. And then once they're in the middle and the thick of it, they realize, okay, this isn't right. They shouldn't be asking me for this information or saying that you've sent me too much money. Now you want me to send you money back. That seems a little crazy. No
Yes.
company's ever going to do that.
No, sure.
If they send you too much money, I don't know that they're going to ask for it back if that were ever the case. So yeah, there's a lot of red flags to be on the lookout for.
You mentioned specifically seasonal work. Any types of jobs in particular, companies in particular that you've seen targeted most?
Yeah, so Amazon and these like big ones that do mass hiring, right? So one of the companies that was reported to us in some of these alerts that we get, Amazon. Another one was Creative Niche, Science Staffing, WBD Global Streaming. These are all kind of random names. Amazon's obviously the biggest player that you're going to see, but
Sure.
I think some of these larger companies that we're all familiar with, the Walmarts of the world, things like that. But scammers aren't afraid to impersonate any company. They've even impersonated the Better Business Bureau. And we ask people to report stuff like that to us so then we can put out alerts. We can send you all information. So whether I come talk to you all or you just report on it quickly on your own, that we want to know what's going on so we can alert people, hey, this isn't happening. I think I heard a story this morning about another type of scam happening, and it's like, hey, we will never just text you out of the blue. Hey, we're not just going to call you out of the blue. So if you're getting texts and calls, be cautious.
Right.
Anything else people need to know that we haven't touched on?
Just trust your gut instinct. If
Yeah.
it's too good to be true, it's probably because it is.
Oh, bad news.
I know, it's unfortunate. I know.
Heartbreaking.
So, consumer education is important. So
Yeah.
that's why we want to make sure everybody knows what's going on and what we're seeing, especially here in our local community.
I'm still stuck on impersonating the Better Business Bureau. That's
Right, that's bold.
That's bold.
Yes,
Super
they do.
respectful.
Yeah, they will call people and say they're the Better Business Bureau. And fortunately, we have a lot of businesses in our area that they'll call us to confirm,
Right.
hey,
Yeah,
did
of
somebody
course.
call? And of course, we have a system. We keep notes and all those things. And sometimes it's like, oh yeah, we called you for XYZ. You remember with us. And oftentimes it's like, actually, there's people impersonating us. We didn't call you. And so it's great that people are calling and checking. But yeah, they'll impersonate anybody.
Ugh, gosh. Well, definitely important to stay on top of things in general, but particularly as we head into the holiday season. Juliana, thank you for coming in.